Did we receive an answer from the Fun Pimps regarding the sentiment growing amongst the 7 Days to Die fan base? Well, we've got a lot of info to cover and no time to waste, so let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, recently here on Savin's World, we discussed a growing sentiment amongst the 7 Days to Die fan base. Many players believe that the Fun Pimps have taken a decidedly anti-player posture, and instead of adding in the missing features to 7 Days to Die, they frequently overhaul existing systems in a way that diminishes the sandbox elements of the game, nudging the player in the direction of a preferred playstyle. And when players voice their concerns about the direction of 7 Days to Die, their concerns are quite often ignored or dismissed by the Fun Pimps. And there are those who believe that the Fun Pimps may even be exacerbating this issue with the way that they respond to the community. Oftentimes, when questions or concerns are raised, players are met with disdain, disrespect, or flat-out insults. Well, a commenter on this video suggested posting it to the 7 Days to Die forums and see what happens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the video did indeed find its way to the forums, and the Fun Pimps have responded. So today we are going to discuss that response. Did we get answers to the questions posed in this video? Well, let's get to it. The forum discussion in question today started like this. A concerned player posted, "Look, I love this game. We all do. A lot of the comments I'm seeing from the Fun Pimp staff are very concerning. We, the players who have all invested into your game, have legit concerns, and we're met with disdain and mockery. It's like y'all won't listen to your player base, who have collectively spent millions of hours with this game. I'm not saying you have to do everything we say, but if we have legit concerns, maybe address them in a manner that doesn't feel like you don't like it. Too bad." Many in the community have legit concerns about overhauling the skill system once again, and the water system. What's wrong with the water mechanics in 7 Days? Now, this player sums up the concerns of many in the 7 Days to Die fanbase. And the first one to chime in was Meganoth. Now, it is important to point out that Meganoth is not a member of the 7 Days to Die staff. However, this individual is a moderator on the official 7 Days to Die forum, therefore his words do carry a lot of weight in the community. He says, "Which comments? Who from the Fun Pimps staff? Nobody can help or change his ways when you just lob such general accusations into the forum." To which another player posted this. I think he is referring to the examples in this video. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the link to my video discussing this growing sentiment. Speaking of which, before we move on, I do highly recommend that you watch this video. That way you can fully contextualize this discussion. There will be a link for this video in the description, the pinned comment, and I'll also add in a card in the top right corner of the screen. So if you haven't yet, make sure and check out that video first. Once you've watched the growing sentiments video, you can come on back and finish up this one. So let's keep rolling. Meganoth responds with this. While he correctly shows that the Fun Pimps don't answer every concerned guy totally serious, especially if the concerned guy is already rushing to conclusions, in my humble opinion, he also blows up the case. He literally says the Fun Pimps have insulted players, but shows no evidence of that, at least none I could find. I have only seen mild mocking by Roland and short answers by Schwans9000 that do not really answer the question. This sensationalizing many YouTube influencers do is radicalizing people for monetary gain. I haven't watched the video completely. Does he ever present the two sides of the coin somewhere? The irony is that people thought YouTubers would revolutionize journalism, but the mass of them seems actually to be a mockery of journalism now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me chime in here. I just want to say I am not a journalist. I have never claimed to be a journalist. I am simply a fan of 7 Days to Die offering his opinion on the state of the game. But I digress, so let's get back to the response. Next up, we get to hear from the super moderator himself, Roland. He responded with quite a lengthy post and starts off by saying this. Yeah, I did joke around at times, but that in no way accurately shows the totality of my responses. I have also clearly stated the purpose, clarified how it works, and given many legitimate answers over and over and over since the very first moment it was announced. He didn't showcase any of the informative responses, and there were plenty of those at the time he made the video. He just cherry-picked what he wanted to show. Roland continues, even Schwann's non-answers do answer the overall concern of whether there will be enough glue. The answer is yes, there will be enough glue. The question was whether the Fun Pimps considered roof sizes of POIs when they decided to make the dew collector footprint 3x3. And the answer is yes, because the player can build their own building, and so all POIs don't have to accommodate a 30 dew collector farm. The game is fully destructible and buildable, so a 30x30 dew farm is totally possible, regardless of it not fitting on the roofs of many POIs that a player might want to choose as their base. In my cursed people joke, I even included a winky to show I was only joking, and yet the streamer ponders whether I actually was or if I was being intentionally insulting. Aha! In that case, I had already explained at least once in a serious way that the perk boost would mitigate bad luck, that nobody should ever experience never finding a magazine or part they needed for the weapon they perked into. Also, he didn't highlight the part of the questioning fan where they called themselves a party pooper and laughed, which made me think that it would be okay to joke around with the guy since he wasn't really distraught and was able to even poke fun at themselves. Of course, he didn't show those serious answers because boring and outside the scope of his narrative. Roland goes on to say, finally, in my insult about getting new friends, I stand by and double down on the idea that a lot of the fun you experience in the game in multiplayer has to do with the people you play with. If you have fun looting and want to loot, but get yelled at by your teammates for doing it because they care more about maybe getting a blue pipe rifle to replace their green pipe rifle than about you having fun playing with them, then yeah, play with different people. That point comes across in the entire post. If had only stated what he highlighted without anything else, then I agree that would be an unkind thing to blurt out. But the guy shares publicly about how his friends are being unkind to him while they play the game together. It's fair game to point out to him that part of his problem with the game are the people he is playing with. The information that answers all of those concerns is available, and I continue to answer seriously and sincerely questions concerning the new systems, especially if the one asking is doing so politely and with an attitude of wanting to learn and understand. If I chew on people a bit who come with a toxic attitude and make wild and insulting speculations based on nothing substantial, I admit it isn't very professionally customer service-like of me to do so. But I've done it this way for going on 6 years now, and I'll do it until the day I no longer moderate. If the Fun Pimps have a problem with that, they can easily make changes. So there you have it, folks. Now, as I've previously stated, the Growing Sentiments video was produced to amplify your voices. This forum interaction was a response to the community's concerns. While I personally believe this interaction speaks loud and clear, and that we may in fact have our answers, exactly what those answers are, I leave up to you to decide. So hop on down to the comments and let me know, do you think we got our answers? And if so, what exactly are the answers that we received? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe to Savin's World for more 7 Days to Die update news and helpful tutorials. But for now, this is Savin saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll catch you in the next one.